Hey guys, and welcome back to the final part of Rodea the Sky Soldier. At least in terms of story. We've got a couple of extra videos for you. But story-wise, this is it, guys. It's time to take down Giardo.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's gonna get so anime, it's ridiculous.
Well, it's been pretty fucking anime so far, mate. How much more up the spectrum could it go?
Oh, just you wait and see.
The game's like, don't tempt me. I'll go to the absolute zenith, mate.
And it will. Maybe not the insane fun anime-ness that things like The Wonderful 101 and Bayonetta did with their finales, but it's certainly going to go anime.
Oh, okay.
This cutscene in particular is a very good example.
Act surprised. He really hates it when people don't act surprised. He's the type of guy who shows himself to the world and then expects people to be like in awe of him when he shows up fully cloaked.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good in CGI though, not gonna lie.
He is quite a good design.
Yeah. Yeah, this is anime. The cutscene was great up until that point.
I know. And now we get the fight, which is...
Disappointing. I hear disappointment in your voice.
Well, it's cool, but it's got the same pattern throughout the entirety of it. So, you avoid getting sucked into this attack. You avoid the next attack, in which he acts sort of like a Green Lantern.
Uh-huh.
In, making a massive Gatling gun appear out of nowhere.
Dude, that's hype as shit!
And then once he's done with this, he is going to go into a sort of healing state.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, this is the point at which you cause damage.
Of course.
But this is just going to repeat and repeat until the fight is over.
So is he a cyborg, essentially?
Yes, so essentially what happened is that he used to be human,
Uh-huh.
but then he changed his body so that he would last forever, or attempt to last forever, and so he became a cyborg of sorts, yes.
I like cutscene moves, they tickle my fancy.
But obviously it only does one bit of damage, because that's how this health system works.
Well, if we were playing the other versions, it would.
It probably would cause a lot of harm, but then I don't know how this fight would go down on the other version, because you need to be flying almost constantly to get anywhere and to not get hit.
Oh, I'm shuddering, mate.
So, yeah. The frustrating thing with this fight is that Giardo can heal himself.
Oh, okay.
And that's essentially what he does as soon as he finishes his Gatling gun attack. So if you don't get to him quickly enough, he will restore some of that health that you've worked so hard to destroy.
Good job you've got that spin boost attack.
Yes, that's why I'm constantly trying to remain at full health, so to speak, because it means that I can do this and speed out of the way of his attacks more successfully, but then it also means that I can close in and cause more damage.
It's nice that they show the cutscene whenever he does that, so you're not, like, taken aback, like, that you've now got to, like, target him because he's just finished doing it.
Yeah, the only frustrating thing I would say about this particular boss fight is that if you don't turn off the lock-on, which is that little camera thing in the bottom, it's telling you can lock on to Giardo.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna end up in a little bit of a difficult situation, because since the camera will constantly return to facing Giardo, it becomes very difficult to dodge out of the way of his attacks, because if the camera's forcing you to look one way and you're wanting to fly in another, you just end up getting a bit of a mismatch.
You love getting caught by this attack, don't you?
I'm trying not to, but it's not going very well.
It's just too high not to, Tom. Man, this arena is really generous with the power-ups.
Well, since there are about 3 or 4 littered about, the reason that they did this is because I think they expect you to get hit. So, since each single power wing is only unpickupable once, you've got 3 others to work with,
Uh-huh.
so you are never not going to be able to keep yourself going.
Now, I was gonna ask, like, why does he have, like, a different kind of health bar compared to the other bosses? But now that I see that he's healing in one, it kind of makes sense, because it's not just in increments of 3.
Yeah, and I mean, he is the only boss fight in the game that does this.
I saw the grip meter back there, what's that about?
That was because I was clinging onto the wall and he was trying to suck me off it.
Oh, poor choice of words there, Richy.
Well, there's going to be a lot more sucking going on throughout the rest of this part, so it's the only word choice you're going to be able to get, unfortunately.
Fair enough. But why? I had a Gatling gun and everything!
That, right there, just revealed that Princess Cecilia was Giardo's daughter.
Ah.
Which is a bit of a plot twist that the Wii version throws at you. But the Wii U version states it outright in the opening kind of plot crawl.
Huh. Well, I suppose, Princess Cecilia, she had to be the daughter of royalty.
Yes, and I mean, I like that this version doesn't hit you over the head with it. It allows you to either work it out yourself,
Yeah.
or reveals it at this point, and I like that sort of sense of ambiguity until this point about what's going on with Giardo, why he's being evil, and who Cecilia was and why she was important.
So is, like, Valgus the final boss of the game? Or does Giardo get up in a second?
Well, I'm not going to tell you, but we've got to beat Valgus right now, or Valgus, I can never remember how you say his name.
Dude, look at these moves!
Yeah, he is a bit of a challenge. He tends to throw in, like, a bunch of the different types of moves that the other R-Unit series used.
I like
so,
that.
Obviously, the Psycho Cutter type thing was from Rylus, and this is brand new, actually. He creates a bloody shadow tornado of sorts.
Dude, this fight is hype!
It's certainly more difficult, I would say, than Giardo, and you would not be misplaced to die during this fight. It is a challenge.
Well, again, it's the final set of bosses.
Indeed. But we are very nearly there.
Okay, I saw in the dialogue there, they're talking about, like, the key of time refusing our units.
Yeah, so pretty much I think the situation, because Rodea is the prototype, he's the original, and I think none of the other units were able to use the Key of Time successfully, for whatever reason. Maybe something Giardo did in their manufacture just messed up the system.
Is it the fact that Valgus kind of looks like Rodea, that's why he can do it, like similar design?
I have no idea. I think it's because they wanted a more rival.
Yeah, and they throw him in, like, right at the end of the game. Good job.
Yeah. Yeah, Valgus is not our final boss. We have one more chapter to do after this. It seems that Valgus is actually somewhat happy about being beaten, somehow.
He's a robot.
Yeah, he's weird.
And now I'm gonna die. I'm not really gonna be able to enjoy it, so thanks for that.
Now that you've kept your promise, what do you want to do next? Truly.
I'm gonna beat the final boss.
Yeah, pretty much.
Garuda and Rodea. We are robots. What?
And there he goes.
It's quite a nice little touch, really. Like, because the bar, when Rodeo first woke up with Ion, he never was explicitly robotic. So this is the first real instance of robots being robots. But here's our final boss.
What the fuck? That was a weird transition.
Yep, just kind of comes out of nowhere. And yes, this is somehow Giardo.
Okay, I'm just rolling with it. Anime as fuck.
Yep. And I'm not a huge fan of this boss fight. for reasons we will get into in a minute.
Like, images of Devil Doom just flashed up in my mind. I don't think it's exactly the same, but that's, that's what I saw.
Yeah. And essentially what's happened is that Giardo has mistaken Ion for Cecilia, and is now, well, it says he's trying to get the Ion Wave, but he's not. We've just got to, destroy him.
Wait, I thought the Ion Wave was the ship.
The Ion Wave is the ship, but he's trying to get that so that he can get Ion.
Ah, okay.
Because he thinks that Ion is Cecilia, when Ion isn't Cecilia, but maybe Cecilia reincarnated.
Sorry, the way you phrased that, it sounded like a thing, and not like a ship.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm done with dialogue from this boss.
Yeah,
Like, was that meant to be intimidating? That's cringy as fuck.
I think what they're going for is they're trying to make Giardo a sort of tragic villain of sorts.
Yeah, that ain't happening, mate. He's very clearly antagonistic.
Yeah, but there is also another really... This is the one thing that I will give the 3DS and Wii version over this version. They introduced checkpoints during this boss fight.
Oh, wow, really?
That is the only thing that I will say they did better.
Oh, sweet, we actually go inside the big robot thing?
Yes, this is what I meant by there's going to be a lot more sucking in this part.
Okay.
Because you get sucked into these things, and they are really cruel, because that thing at the bottom will hurt you, and it is pulling you towards it. And you can't touch the sides of this vent thing, because that will hurt you, because it's electrified.
Okay.
So this just all works out to be a rather cruel experience, and seeing as it's so easy to die in these sections, in this version, there are no checkpoints. So if you die in, like, the last vent, which does take a reasonable amount of time to get to, you've got to start all the way from the beginning.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, I see. So do we have to repeat the process now, like take out tentacles and then another vent opens?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's a really derivative boss in the end. It's really formulaic.
Man, after the Phoenix guy, it was just all kind of downhill from there.
Yeah, which is really disappointing because they could have done quite a lot with this idea of Giardo turning into a giant mech and being the awesome final boss. But just what this is just not quite... It's not exciting, it's tedious.
First of all, we didn't get to see, like, him transform. We didn't get a cool transformation sequence. It just, like, popped from one scene to the other. Secondly, his design is pretty stupid, honestly. Like, it goes straight past Goofy into just kind of, like, unattractive, if that's even the right word.
Yeah, I mean, I suspect that half the problem was budget. They probably didn't... Well, they clearly didn't have enough of a budget to do the CGI sequence that they wanted to for this sequence.
Uh-huh.
But then perhaps they could have not done some of the other CGI sequences and put it in here instead.
Like, just take out the one where Rodea's lying on the grass. That's a bit superfluous.
Yeah. But then I suppose they would have had to make really... quite a lot of brand new assets for this sequence.
Uh-huh.
So they probably thought it's more cost-effective to do the Rodea under the tree than try and create this. It's a bit of a disappointing end to the game. I mean, I love it. I think it's a really great game that's it's a diamond in the rough. But there is a lot of good going on in the Wii version that I wish it had been given a bigger budget, a better release, that it had come out when it was supposed to come out, because then there could have been potentially a sequel.
Thank you, Kalakawa Games, for nixing that.
Yeah, and the game could have grown from there. Because the ideas are here, it just needed a little bit more polish on the execution.
Oh boy, Death Laser!
Yeah, it looks threatening. It's not.
Oh.
Essentially, you just get the hell out of Dodge, and you're safe as anything ever.
Oh. Wow, even, like, Apocalypse Blast version 5.0 is disappointing. This boss sucks.
It does, yeah.
So I'm going to assume this doesn't appear on your top 10 finales thing.
No, it definitely doesn't.
Are there any Sega games that crop up on that list?
Yes. One of them, I'm not sure whether you will agree with me on,
Okay.
considering I think you've probably gone on record as saying as you're not too much of a fan of it. But I'm particularly fond of it.
Well, I'll see the list and I'll judge for myself.
But yeah, I did a top 10 gaming openings as well, which was quite fun.
Just link me to all your top 10s, mate. I love that shit.
I will do, don't worry. I'll probably put them in the comments of this video as well, because why the hell not do the extra plug? Seeing as we've been talking about them.
What is the laser even doing? It just seems to like travel like a shockwave.
Well, I mean, I think the thing is that if you are down at the bottom, you're going to get hit by it, and that's going to...
Why would you ever be, though?
Exactly. I mean, there are moments where you'll have to go lower,
Yeah.
because that's the only way of getting across to where the other tentacles are. But you really are never at such a low point that you can't get back up to avoid the attack.
Ah, at least you can hear it coming.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been particularly cruel had that been impossible. Also, there's a really weird thing during this boss fight where there are falling boulders,
Huh.
and the way that you're meant to be able to tell where they are is shadows coming from above you, but I've always struggled noticing where those shadows are if I'm not looking directly at the ground.
Where are the boulders coming from if they're falling like straight down from above?
I have no idea, but either way, we are very close to the end now. We've just got this vent and then one final hit.
Oh snap. It better be a hype final hit. Oh, for God's sake!
I mean, it tries to be hype. Whether it actually succeeds is a different matter altogether.
Alright. Take the hit, it's all good.
I mean, that's one of the things that I always got slightly frustrated about during this, is that half the time, because of the way the camera works, it's sometimes more prudent to take the hit at the bottom so that you can just reorient yourself and actually target efficiently.
God, I'm getting like panic sweats thinking about the 3DS version of this.
There we go, that's the last vent down. One more hit to go.
Let's do it! Yeah, we know, Cecilia, my daughter, give her back to me. I don't think little Cecilia is going to want to see her dad like this somehow.
Pretty much, yeah. So there is the final hit me light. Let's go kill it.
That's the most obvious fuck me light I've seen in quite a while.
Yeah. Now, the way this section works is target the boulders and fly towards it. There are going to be 4 separate lasers that may target you. You can tell which ones are coming, obviously, so just make sure that you aren't in the firing line of whichever laser is shooting at that particular moment in time.
Like, scope-wise, this is a pretty cool way to finish, but it's probably gonna, like, feel anticlimactic once you deliver that final blow.
Pretty much, yeah. It's the same as with pretty much all of the boss fights in the game. Like, the concepts are actually pretty decent, but the final hits are never quite as satisfying as they could be. You need, like, either the climax attacks of Bayonetta or the quick time events at the end of the Wonderful 101 to really drive it home.
Rodea, get out of there! Ugh, what a cringy boss.
Yeah, and then we're going to get a slightly cringy ending cutscene, but it's where it goes in the end is kind of sweet, but it feels a little bit forced. Also, just because obviously we don't tend to talk over the credits, which are god-awful, just stick around for the stinger, which closes off the plot.
Okay.
And then we'll discuss the issue of what happens after the credits in the extras.
No, I mean, thank you.
But yeah, we've beat Rodea. Well, I've beat Rodea, but...
Yeah, I helped! I did the editing, which is the most boring part. But no, it's been a really fun playthrough, mate, so thank you for bringing this to HFC.
I'm glad I could bring it to HFC. Hopefully it means that Rodea gets a little bit more of the love that it actually deserves, and gets a bit more attention than it has done, and more for the right reasons than the wrong reasons.
Too bad that the Wii version is only available as a pack-in with the Wii U one on the first run of the game, which has long since passed.
Yeah.
Enjoy the 3DS one, I guess.
Lied to you about the point. I have to close the arcade.
Oh, is he gonna have to stay in the past?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's best he and I stay here. We have to go back to the future alone.
You mind toning down the triumphant music? This is meant to be like a somber scene.
I love you, Rodea, but just...
Just a robot,
Learn your tones, guys. Learn your tones.
You got this sort of okay earlier on in certain scenes. Now we get this. It's going to get into more emotional music in a minute, but... it's just
One
like-
would hope so.
Now we get the emotional music, but...
There
it's
we
just like-
go.
I can't control the ice wave. Rodea!
Bye, Ion. I won't miss you.
This isn't fair, Rodea!
I'm a robot. I'll see you in 1,000 years.
More to you! And do more with
Well, it's funny you should actually say that.
Ooh.
Stick around for the stinger and you'll see what I mean.
Uh-huh. Oh, thank God she's gone. Rodea, go night-night now.
See Garuda from here.
How am I going to clean up all this purple sludge?
It's fine. All's well that ends well.
Maybe I won't tell Cecilia that her daddy turned into a giant mechanical tentacle monster.
But there we go. Rodea is done, and these are the beginning of the credits.
Enjoy them, guys, because I'm sure as shit out this bitch. Okay, we'll see you in the extras. Bye-bye for now.
Oh my, it seems like you had a wonderfully action-packed dream. Hey, you wanna come with us? We're gonna go visit Rodea and Cecilia's graves.
What's the matter, Ion? Garuda is surrounded by the Chronos Towers on this most happiest of days.
Rodea! Can you hear my voice? Do you remember me?
Of course. I made a promise.
Rodea!
I can't believe you found me again.
Of course I did. I trusted my gut well, actually, I trusted our bond.